Ribada Shazon Demba, Devareshavan Jide, Jubun, Kalojuva, Lala Meva, Hata Menanje, Sanje Jumden, Bejava Shan, Sasen Washado Jazo, Damba, Jumden, Jajumba Yandama, Zobia Sanje, Ribada Shazon, Devareshavan Jide, Jamba Jubun, Kalojuva, Hata Menanje, Demba, Sanje Jumden, Bejava Shaja. Chasen Washado Jazo, Damba, Jumden, Shisha. Andaman Sobe Sanje Ribadan Shazon Demban Devarish. Given the Kalo Giva, Lana Meba, Sanje Jumden, Bejawa, Shaja, Tobala, Shaz. Should Jazu Chair or Kanse Kanya Zowaja. Sajan Deno Comban Dember, Madan Jiden. Zekava Jana Cha, Zemo Namba Kongacho. Ishe Jazu Seja, Homoda Taban Jiden. Mambo Chonye Jana Cha, Zemo, Senjon Demba. Sendo Rawa Jana Cha, Zemo, Dujeja, Seba Sumo. Yame Jenjen Jana Cha, Zemo, Gumbo Tujeja, Tumje. Sono Yende Jazu Jen, Jana Cha, Zemo, Taben de Jachamo. Giving as one literature, Chedo, Tanama Chojo, Shinjuri Jana. China Choga. Labana, Rabdo, Ne, Shingata, then get the Diva Chiya Misha Shingawa, Person Sobaja, Rangi Sende, and then Sanjay. Karma Ravi Mameta, Jumasema, Sugarata, Melona, Genda, Justice. Sono di Tumje Seba, Yokobatam, Jinjan, Adana, Shiva, Sibe Son and Joan Jover, the blessed one, the Bodhisattva.
Perfecting knowledge and conduct, so that no supreme guide of beings to be taken, teacher of gods and humans, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the blessed one, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, I prostrate their offerings in hope of refuge. To the teacher, the blessed one, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfecting knowledge and good conduct, Sukata, noble one, supreme guide of beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the blessed one, the glorious conqueror, the subdued from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and hope for refuge. To the teacher, the blessed one, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, completely perfected, fully awakened, perfecting knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, noble one, supreme God of beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the blessed one, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and hope for refuge. When the supreme among humans, you are born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise men, I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supreme pure, wisdom motion like golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 words, we know the best, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. You are immaculate, the 3 words are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the teacher having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the one gone to dustness I prostrate. The purity which makes one free from attachment, the virtue which frees one from the lower relics, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma which pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realization, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the sublime community, the virtue I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. The star mirage, a flame of a lamp, illusion, a drop of dew or bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning or cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits, may sentient beings attain rank of all seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from motion of suffering, of aging, sickness, and death.
Sanje Shabang Sanje Shanala Chanchu Pando, Tane Japsu Che, Nagin Jeso Jiben Sona. Dola Penche Sanje Juba Sho, Sanje Shodan Sanje Shanala Chanchu Pando, Nagin Jeso Jiben Sonam Jen Dola Penche Sanje Juba Sho, Sanje Shodan Sanje Shanala Chanchu Pando, Tane Japsu Che, Nagin Jeso Jiben Sonam Jen Dola Penche Sanje Juba Sanje Shodan Sanje Shanala Chanchu Pando, Tane Japsu Che, Nagin Jeso Jiben Sonam Dola Penche Sanje Juba Sho, Sanje Shodan Sanje Shanala Chanchu Pando, Tane Japsu Nagin Jeso Jiben Sonam Jen Dola Penche Sanje Juba Sho.
I go for refuge and flatland to the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. Through the merit I create by practicing giving and the other perfections, may I quickly obtain the state of Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. Through the merit I create by practicing giving and the other perfections, may I quickly obtain the state of Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. Through the merit I create by practicing giving and the other perfections, may I quickly attain the state of Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings.
Tanje Gemma La Chan, Zenon de La Sanje Jum de Ne, Dishin Shaban Jachum, Yang Da Wan Zong, Sanje Juma Da Shaban, Devare Shaban Jeden, Gemma Juvan, Deva Kalan Juvan, Tada Men, Anje Dema Sanje Jum de So, Dishin Shaban, Sonon Da Giju, Geve Zawan Namachu, Mezava Zubera, Sonom Jetera Namjishi, Beja Sambon of Jeteva, Tenam Jemedo Jeva, Juyerim, Tonam Mitem, Tebe, Mumbragawa Sheriff Sigmund of Tonama Zeba, Simjatum Jetumba, Chanju Samba Namjaya, Pabia Casana, Jay, Young Ended, the Conjet and Ishabadome, Boba Sanji Major was on number Yanima Kujeta, which Major Kutuma Mebon de Suda Ganyama was Sumevata, the Mother to Nella, number two, Tala number two. Come on, the Medem by Jajanamanda Mondivana Machine, Yoto Toa. Siva le chuva chuva ne geva yishe yon to to deva ta ma chon pa ta ta chu sanje chum de yishe la ne ba nyang la deva la me ne wa ya ta ba ni ja ta la de sinja tam je ma se be sa ma chu pa te de da ne sanje chum de je ku shi ve yon de ya ta ba no so ta be chon na to ma ge wa pa do ge wa ta ma ge de sam ba chen ro sam ba ma de wa yon to ba yon to ta wa yon to cha wa yang ta ba to ne me wa tu che ba Tushaba Meba Nyawata Matetawana Tenyo Kevana, Sosorang, River Cheva, Chumden de Levason, Chundawala Levatu, Nyaracho, Zobe Chanju, and Rova Cheva, Midumba Mission Devata, Teba Yuva Yuva Chebo, Tebachemegin, Leva Juba, Riva Juba, Tumba Juba, Timoja, Charge of Sonam de Beji, Yen, Joan Jimenda, Kudo, and Jimenda, Chembo. Kanzekanya zowa jadamze sajenda no homo manenji tende no chojo teze kyawa jama chaze what is that? Yeah. Is something special day today?
Huh?
Yeah, so okay. Why the absence or intrinsic existence in something that has ceased is a reason to reject foundation consciousness. I think I've read that.
Yeah, you were on toward the bottom of 283 class.
Okay, 283 in the clear word, Chandrakirti presents both scriptural citations and reasons, argument to prove this. The first refer to the statement in the 10 grounds sutra that conditioned by birth, aging, and death come about. So this is Chandrakirti using the citations to constitute the cessation of the disintegration is the functional thing, right? The functional things. Anything that disintegrated, anything that ceased to exist, still is a functional thing. So, because the Buddha says, conditioned by birth, aging, and death. The aging and death is conditioned by birth. So the death has to be a conditional thing. It's still a thing, so not a non-existence. The death referred to the disintegration of the sentient beings, and this, the sutra states, is produced in dependence on the birth. The same sutra also says dying consists of the two activities. It involves the disintegration of karmic activity, and it brings forth the cause that ensure uninterrupted continuity of the ignorance. So the dying, the process of dying is not death yet. Process of dying perform two kinds of activities. One brings the death, the second continues the ignorance. So that again says the death is the conditioned things. Right? So dying consists of the two activities. Involves the disintegration of the karmic activities. Dujin jiwa chima yedi, yonsu mi chiba gyun mi chiba gyun jiba. Dujin jiwa chima thans. So involves the disintegration of the karmic activities. I think this little bit, in the Tibetan it says, Dujin jiwa yan cheba thang, yonsu mi chiba. It's not necessarily karmic activities. So it's any kind of things that in the process of dying, it brings the disintegration of it closer and it continues the ignorance. Right? So it's not necessarily the karma. So I think the translated thoughts in this is Dujin Jiwan Chabatans. Dujin Jiwan Chabatans. Many times the Duje, the term used for the karma, like in 12 years independent originations. So Duje is referring to the karma. Now here is every time Duje is not necessarily to refer to the karma. So this maybe I'm not following these translations. Duje Jiwaya Chebatans. So Duje can be referred to the five aggregates, and Duje can be referred sometimes, when we count the 12 links to dependent originations, Mariba, Duje. So that is the karma. And other than that, Duje can refer to anything, any conditional things. So I find this little bit ambiguous. Dying consists of the activities involved disintegration of the karmic. Is a dying. It involves the disintegration of the conditional things, right? Conditional things, or it involves the disintegration of the things. Process of dying, process of disintegration of the seed will, brings the end of the seed, which is the disintegration of the seed, and it continues the sprout. Right. The process of dying of human being will brings forth the death of the person and continues the ignorance. So it's not necessary karma, karmic activities. Bring forth the cause that ensure the interrupted continuity of ignorance. So next life, so after the death, when we born, and again 5 aggregates, having seeing the body, there is the I am, having experiencing feeling, and there's I am. There is a having thought of any kind of things, and I am. So there's I, ignorance start, uninterruptedly, continuous, bring forth. Sutra that states as dying perform 2 functions. It makes death, again it says it's death, So it makes the death cause event, and it perpetuates the ignorance. So as I mentioned, so the commentary. So from the commentary, we can understand what the root text is saying. So it's makes death cause event, and then perpetuate the ignorance. Disintegration is produced by a cause, and disintegration thereby also has the capacity to produce the effect. Although the disintegration referred to here is that of continuum, the same is also true momentary disintegrations, where the first moment disintegrations at the time of second moment. So this sutra's citation also indicates how the first moment is the cause of its disintegrations in the second moment. Therefore, whether it is between sentient beings' birth and death, or between the momentary phenomena, so not persisting at the time of its second moment, and not having persisted at the time of its second moment. So they are entirely equal in whether they can be considered conditional things and whether they are produced by their own cause. So, which means within a minute, the first seconds, the first second cause the second second, right? The second second. So, which means the first second, it is the cause of death of itself. So then that brings forth the second second. The second second produces its death and brings forth the third second. So the death is the conditional things. Death is not a non-existence. So indicates how the movement is in its cause of the one disintegrations, whether it's between sentient beings' birth. Kijima tambo, tunyeba shibu gyuan tentos. And the simje geba the shiwani, kijima ni nibra medubatas. Anything that is right, any kind of things that is, like it, So when the first second is no longer, or the first second is passed during the second second, so that is caused by the first second, right? The second second is also continue the second second is also caused by the first second. The first second perform the 2 functions, death of itself and continue the second seconds. Right? So therefore, and also it says that the minute is disintegrates with each seconds.
So minute that disintegrated with the first second, with the first second is, cease to exist in the second second. So when the second dies, the minute also dies, right? So which means that every year, the birthday, so previous one is already dying, so non-existence. So yeah, in that way, kiji nyeba midube sa ngobo na kiji nyeba bade ba nam ngobo jo me jo da yu je me jo kun chung so. I think here Lama Tsongkapha is trying to brings the criteria of how, why the disintegration is the condition of things. So things do not exist in the second moment is the condition of things, right? Things do not exist in the second moment is the condition of things. So which means the first event which is not existing in the second event is the condition of things. So therefore, the first second, disintegration of first moment, first event, disintegration of the first event has to be condition of things. So right now it's the afternoon, the morning has disintegrated. So disintegration of the morning of the Sunday must be conditional things, because morning not exist in the afternoon is conditional thing. Does it make sense? Because the essential school things, something that ceases to exist, disintegrate means that thing is become non-existence. And the question is, like for example, the morning, the end of the cessation of the morning, or the disintegration of the morning, or the past of the morning, if this is non-existent, then morning not exist in afternoon is why it is a conditional thing, right? So morning not existing in afternoon is the nature of conditional things, is the nature of the impermanence. Like first second not exist in second second not exist in the third second is the nature of the impermanence. It's the pure nature of the impermanence. So therefore it has to be conditioned things. If the first second not exist in second second not exist in third second is the nature of the impermanent, and then it is a conditioned things. Therefore morning not exist in the afternoon is the conditioned thing. Right? Afternoon not existing in the evening is the conditional thing. So the past of the afternoon in the evening is conditional thing. So why not the death of the person is a conditional thing? So the impermanent means, the every event that going to be ceased in the next event, that next event going to be ceased in the third event is the nature of the impermanent. So the now the question is, the Bali seat continuously, every moment is disintegrating, are impermanence, and it is conditional things. So the total cessation of the Bali is still a conditional things, right? So barley seed keep changing, right? With soil and water. First is tight and very hard, and once you put in the soil and with the water, it kind of size bigger, swells up, So and then it's changing. So every change is impermanent. Every change is the condition of things. So then once the whole size of the kind of whole seed being ceased to exist, that is still a conditioned thing, right? So that's still conditioned things. Now the question is, if that barley seed being totally ceased, conditioned by fire, or conditioned by, eaten by, birds, so then what is that cessation? Is that cessation still a conditioned things? It will still continue with the, it has continuity.
Completely destroying. But if the seed drops it could.
Yeah, it drops it, and then it may come back, but it totally, burned by the fire, and then there's. So similarly, continuity of our life, once the a life that's driven by or caused by karma and afflictions continuously, once we destroy the karma and afflictions, right? So, totally destroy the potential of it, and then there is a life, but there is no life that pushed by karma and afflictions. So then that end of that kind of birth due to karma and afflictions, right? So that is, now this is very debatable. So the many of those, essential schools, particularly medieval autonomous school, Baba Beg, Chandrakirti, so they're all things. So that end is actually, same like is a non-affirmative negation. So the Prasangika school is saying that, life being, being, having a birth of the life is being seized due to.
Oh, sorry. I'm the criminal.
Yeah.
I do have a question though.
Sure.
But I confess I'm definitely the criminal. There's some term I don't think I understand. I probably missed it or came late or didn't hear the last one. But the title on page 282 is why the absence of intrinsic existence in something that has ceased, the absence in something that has ceased, is a reason to reject foundation consciousness.
Yeah.
Foundation consciousness.
You have to combine absence of intrinsic existing in something that has ceased. I think this is, because I'm reading from my Tibetan sentence. So it's like the, something that ceased, not intrinsically. So which means something that ceased not intrinsically, right? Something ceased not intrinsically means existing, or for example, like the morning is not intrinsic, right? So when the morning ceased, also not intrinsically ceased. Intrinsic means the morning is not intrinsic in any hour. So morning is not in 9 o'clock Morning is not in the 10 o'clock. Morning is not in 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. It's not intrinsic in anything. So when the morning ceased, won't cease intrinsically, because existing of the morning is not intrinsic, right? So then the question is, why? What is the kind of the point? What is the meaning of morning is not intrinsically? We understand morning is not intrinsic in each hours, right? So therefore, morning is not intrinsic. So second, why says morning is not intrinsically ceased? Not intrinsically ceased means morning is, the cessation of the morning is conditioned by each hour. So if intrinsically ceased, morning has to be remain from the, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, unchangeably existing, remaining until, maybe 11:59, and then 11:50, the 16th, then it's collapsed. Then it intrinsically ceased.
Now, what does foundation consciousness mean? Is that a term representing consciousness as intrinsic? And why is the fact that morning is not intrinsic, existence is not intrinsic, because it's conditional? Why is it the fact that it's intrinsic, not intrinsic, and it has ceased? Why is that a reason to reject foundation consciousness?
So foundation consciousness, right now, this is the new terminology that used in this particular translation. And some translators, they use mind basis of all. That is mind-only school, the term mind basis of all. For example, this says, morning you have, create the karma. We have committed the karma, like doing the prostrations, right? So the karma that is done in maybe within an hour or something. And then afternoon, the karma is no longer exist. Karma that's already done in the morning. So afternoon, the karma is no longer active. So now the question is, the karma that is not exist in afternoon, is there possible of, can you experience the positive result from the karma that has done in the morning, although that karma which is not really no longer performing any function? So can you experience the result of that karma of the prostration or doing recitations, meditations? If yes, then the question is that result comes from non-existing of that karma, disintegration of that karma. So disintegration of the karma, if you interpret that, translate that is non-existing, anything that disintegrates, if you translate that as non-existence, then the result has to become from non-existing of that karma. So therefore, karma will be ceased right after its action is done, but there must be a container who holds this, the seed of the karma that holds the container. And then this container continues goes, and it goes to the next moment, and it will give rise to the result. This is the mind-only school thinking. Karma is not exist. So non-existing of that karma or disintegration of the karma has no potential to bring any positive result or negative result. But when you have, while you are committing that karma, the mind basis soul is like there underneath, like oil changing in the middle, and the car repair, there's a machine underneath the car, the oil change, right? So mind basis also is underneath there. So they drop the seed in the mind basis, all that mind basis carry. That carries, so without that mind basis all, every karma is forgotten. Every karma in the past is forgotten. So that totally non-exist. Because disintegration of the karma is, they don't really consider is the functional thing. So therefore, they mind-only school things. There must be something that evidence during that time and that continuously remain. So mind basis of all is the one that collects all the seeds, negative karma, positive karma, everything, drop the seeds in that mind basis of all, and that continuously goes to the future. So this is mind-only school thinking. Why? Because disintegration of the karma is not a functional thing. So this is why the mind-only thing is, mind basis all. And the Vaibhashika school thinks, so when the karma ceased, so the cessation of the karma is no longer have the potential to give rise any result. But there is another thing above that is like a bank statement. When you take the loan from the bank, there's a statement. So statement that's written that you have done that thing. So that brings the karma result. So all of them, the mind-only school, Vaibhashika school, they're all things. Disintegrations of any kind of thing has no potential to give rise any result. That is a non-existing. So in the afternoon, morning is non-existing. Evening, afternoon is non-existing. Night, evening is non-existent. Morning again, night is not night becomes non-existence. So non-existing cannot give rise any result.
What about, I don't quite get, because from, I may understand incorrectly.
Let me say one thing, another one. Who, in the ancient Hindu, who believes in the Bhagavan, the creator, Bhagavan as a creator. So they think that Bhagavan is it keeps all the reports registered there, what you have done in many, many lives, 500 lives, 1,000 lives before. So Bhagavan will remember what you have done, and he will bring, reward or the punishment. So there is someone who has the, what kind of records, what you have done in every minute, in every event, every life. So the Bhagavan will decide you are, suitable for punishment or the reward. So similarly, mind-only school, this is kind of like that. Mind basis of all is that the one that you register everything. So without that, the disintegration of the karma is once done, positive and negative, and that become non-existence. So now the mind basis all will say, yes, you have done this thing, positive things. You can be, you can be receiving this positive result or negative result. So the mind-only school also think there's something that facilitates those many kind of seed, positive and negative, many seed. Among that seed, anything your negative emotionals, triggers the one of the negative seed, then it will bring negative consequences. One of the positive thought motivations will trigger the positive karma, and the positive karma will give rise to the result. So the seed is within the seeds are already in the present time within the mind basis. All the bank statement, like what do you call the non-corrosion kind of statement, right? So non-Buddhist school things, Bhagavan is the creator who kept all the records. So now Prasangika school logic is, when you have a barley seed, when you have a good barley seed, and put in the soil, and within the time, it would change and give rise the barley sprout. That barley sprout is not decided by the Bhagavan or God or creators, not decided by third condition like the mind basis of all anything, but each disintegrates. Disintegration is the nature of the impermanent. So therefore, each disintegration brings another event. That disintegrates, that brings another event. So the Prasangika school says, like seed is doing that, similarly, our positive action, negative actions, all disintegrate, but the disintegration is a functional thing.
Okay, now I'm going to follow up on this.
Yeah.
Actually, the
I have to tell you, non-Buddhist school, then you understand.
Well, let me seek to clarify some things. I understand how the belief in Atma, or the Vedic non-Buddhist approach.
They call just Bhagavan. Bhagavan will punish you.
Bhagavan
will punish, reward you.
He's the chief accountant.
Yeah, he is the chief accountant. Yeah,
he's the chief accountant. But it seems, if I understand correctly, that this is very, very close to the mind-only school, though they don't have a being keeping track. They don't have a chief accountant. They end up at the same point. They say there's an alaya. Right?
Alaya.
An alaya is the repository of all the karmic seeds. And moreover, it seems they're very close to the Prasangika to me, because I know you said they don't really seem to accept the idea of production. They seem to accept the belief in exhaustion, but not production, if I understand your characterization. But yet, when something becomes exhausted and therefore a nothing, the next karmic seeds, the conditions arise to mature the next thing that arises. But my understanding is it's not quite that simple, because we continue through our feelings, our reactions. In the mind-only school, we're also creating new karmic seeds constantly by our thoughts, our actions. So it's not just things that have been created by the past. This production, so it seems to me there's still production here. It's not just exhaustion. It seems to me in the mind-only school there is production, because we're continuing to produce. As old things exhaust, we're still creating new seeds in the alaya all the time. Am I correct so far?
So far, yes.
My characterization is...
Be careful now.
Be careful, I'm about to step in it.
Yeah, so far.
So therefore, first of all, it seems to me, it would appear to me, your statement that exhaustion exists, but they don't really accept the conditional production. It's not quite right, because the production is going on continually, just like in Prasangika. Both would say, yes, because of our ignorance, our attachments and aversions, we're continuing to produce new karmic seeds. Except, I guess the distinction you might make is that in the mind-only school, they don't accept it as a continuity. They don't accept that, I mean, once something is exhausted, that's it. Whereas in Prasangika, you wouldn't quite say that's it. You'd say, but it's not just a negation. It's a birth is going on too. New production is going on as the old is dying. Have I stepped in it yet?
Yeah, you're trying to step into both school. So don't step in my school.
It seems to me, it appears to me that the mind-only school and the Prasangika actually both accept production, because
mind-only school and the non-Buddhist school, they all believe, they all accept the projections. Now the agents who, like FedEx, who brings this continuing. So then this is, the FedEx is the Bhagavan. And the mind-only school says, FedEx is within us. So there's which you hold, that mind basis all, the truck is there. So whatever you make things, all loaded in that you hold truck. So that truck goes with you, And the Prasangika school says, no, you don't need any carrier. The continuation is the carrier, You don't need one particular carrier. You don't need Bhagavans to carry your seed. You don't need mind basis alls to carry your seeds. Just the seeds is the propensities that within it stays like a stain in the consciousness.
This is a very subtle, almost seeming minuscule distinction. I mean, it's very, very, very subtle.
Yeah. I think this is important because many times people think, and like ordinary people, when people die, some people think, oh, he's no more, he's become non-existence. So, and then, when things that, like days, so day pass, and people say, oh, that is non-existent now, right? But when they see with the eye, the way the milk changed into the yogurt, they don't say the milk is non-existence, because they see with their eye, milk has changed to the yogurt. But anything they could not see with eye, and this is non-existence. So they hear the saying, anything that ceased to exist already turned into something else. Like milk turning into yogurt, everything is turning into something else. So the disintegrations are not a non-existence, is not a non-functional things. So if you see that disintegrations in the more subtle way, every second is disintegrating. Every second is disintegrating. Every second is not become non-existing. Every second is things are changing. Change, disintegrate, pass, dying are the same, in the same meaning.
Okay, so I have one more point to clarify, and this is to go back again to that title, why the absence of intrinsic existence in something that has ceased, because it's ceased, so there's change, so there is no intrinsic existence.
Therefore,
Okay, it says is a reason to reject foundation consciousness. Now this sounds, if I heard you correctly, you said this sentence characterizes the mind-only school view. Did I hear that right? It seems to me this sentence doesn't characterize the mind-only school view. It characterizes the prasangika view. Why? Because the mind-only school view believes in a foundational consciousness. So therefore, I think the statement is not representative of the mind-only school's view, but it is characteristic of the prasangika view. Am I correct?
Yes. This is the prasangika say, this is why we reject the foundational consciousness. So there is no need for the third things between the continuations. There's no need something else to carry the continuity, because things are continuing. When things are continuing, why do you need carrier to continue? So morning I did, positive actions. In the afternoon I did negative actions. So every actions leave the stain in that continuation, right? So there is no need another thing who carries, each negative and positives. There is no need of Bhagavan or the mind basis or the non-corrosion like a bank statement. You don't need that. So if you see that disintegration in the most settled way, every moment is disintegrating. In that case, you have to say every moment is things are turning into non-existence. Things do not turn into non-existent. Things turn into something else. Milk to the yogurt, human to the elephant, elephant to the human, and human to the God. So things are changing. Things are not turning into non-existence. So the disintegration is therefore is a functional thing. It is not a non-functional thing. So yesterday passed, yesterday passed. The past, the yesterday is the functional thing. Is the impermanence of the yesterday. Is the disintegration of the yesterday. So disintegration of yesterday is still functional thing that allows today be a Sunday, tomorrow will be a Monday. If the Saturday not pass, the past of the Saturday is not perceived, and the Sunday cannot be come. Sunday is not coming, Sunday is not going to cease. If Sunday is not going to cease, Monday is not going to come. Right? So things are changing, things are not turning into non-existence. Right? So now the question is, so this disintegrations, prasangika, so this is the one of the kind of, one of the perspective of the conditional things. Another things that thing ceased, when things ceased by destruction of their cosmic conditions. What is that? So destruction of the seed. Seed, when seed burned, right? So when the seed totally burned and become, non-existing, what is that? Are you still going to call it disintegration? It is impermanent. It is the functional thing. So conditionally, things are changed and disintegrate. That's still a conditional things. We can understand that. Now, when the things turn into, things passes by the destruction of their cosmic condition. So I'm referring to the end of the birth in second existence. So right now we have a life that is caused by karma and afflictions. When we attain the liberations, when we are able to, eliminate afflictive emotions and, destroy the karma and afflictions, then there is no life that is come from karma and afflictions. So the end of the life of result of the karma and afflictions, is it functional things? It is like the past of the Saturday. Is it like past of the Sunday? So this has become very debatable between Prasanga school, middle way autonomous school. The middle way autonomous school says, oh, that the end of the, how's the end of the birth due to destruction of the karma and affliction is non-affirmative negation. It is a conventional reality. The Prasanga school says, no, this is not a conventional reality. So that end of the birth due to the destruction of the afflictive emotion, the karma is, is the, the ultimate nature of the consciousness, which means the cessations that you actualize directly perceive that cessation, that you are seeing the emptiness. There is no such thing. There is no such thing, end of the life or end of the destruction emotion. You see only all the afflictive emotions cease to dissolve in emptiness. That is what you're seeing. So nirvana or the cessations is, Prasanga school thinks that this is, actual identity of that is nothing but emptiness.
That seems like the ultimate and sudden discontinuity. That continuity is no longer, that's how it appears to me,
So
no longer up.
So this is as a continuity of the life, youth, then adult and aging, these are out of ignorance we see. So when you are in the dream of the, dream in ignorance, and you see you are getting old, you are, getting younger and getting, what's that? You are born and youth and old and aging and death. All of them you see in the dream of ignorance. When you awaken from ignorance, there is no you that is going to be born. There's no you that you can see getting younger and older and aging and dying. So that all this, what we see in our life, the birth and aging and death is the object that you see, like you are dreaming. It's all a dream in ignorance.
So therefore, someone who sees the Buddha, like us, like us or the people who existed at the time of the Buddha's life, although there is time itself, I guess, is a fabrication, but we'll talk conventionally here. People see the Buddha as probably having a personality, having a continuity from the outside. Oh, we recognize this is the Buddha. This is what he looks like. This is the kind of thing he says. But that's how it would look from outside the Buddha. But from within the state of being awakened, it wouldn't look that way at all.
Yeah. No.
There's not even an illusion of continuity. You wouldn't even see continuity.
now I think this is a very, very good point. This is a very good point. So here this is the conventional realities, the conventional reality, the one that we see in a dream or in awaken or in enlightened. The conventional realities are seen by ordinary people, and Arhat and the Buddha. So now the conventional reality for the ordinary people are very solid and concrete. For the no Arya beings, they are like illusion. So for the enlightened being, the conventional realities even not really has any quality to deceiving you. Illusion means you have there's some deceptions. So Buddha can realize the conventional reality, but not with like thought, imagining. So it's very, very difficult to understand how Buddha sees the conventional. If Buddha don't see the conventional reality, and he only sees the one truth, ultimate truth, then he cannot teach sentient beings. He cannot guide sentient beings without conventional reality. So he must have seen the conventional reality, not like the Arhat beings, like illusion-like phenomena. So illusion-like phenomena means there's some kind of entertainment there. There's some kind of exciting desire, there. But they're all well kind of aware that these are not solid and concrete existence. But still there is some kind of level of has the true nature in there. So for the Buddha, there is no true nature at all, but still sees the conventional reality. So then the question is how Buddha sees. Then I don't know, wait for the Buddha, so wait for your enlightenment. So once you get enlightened, then you will know. So how Buddha sees the conventional reality. Now the problem here is if Buddha, enlightened being, do not seize the conventional reality, and the Buddha cannot guide sentient beings. He cannot teach sentient beings. So which means Buddha is turning the Dharma every day in every moment, which means Buddha also aware of the conventional reality. But the way the ordinary, Arhat being sees, where the ordinary being sees, the Buddha don't see the conventional reality.
That's very, very challenging. Probably incomprehensible to us.
Yeah.
Because to us, it would seem the only way to see it was if Buddha still had some dualistic quality, some little corner of dualism left. Otherwise, how would he do it? He would just see everyone purely as a Buddha, which is what's said in how enlightened beings see. They see everyone as a Buddha field. So if he sees everyone as a Buddha field, how could he even recognize beings as being caught in illusion? I don't know any way to understand that.
Yeah. So we even don't understand how the Elon Musk gain 50 billion in a year. That is impossible for us to do.
That's just a tip. That's his tip.
Yeah, we still don't know how he got this, how he can manage that. So Buddha is too far, So I think that's very, very good now today. Yeah. So the whole process here, the effort is in the Prasangika school says the death and the disintegration, exhaustions, are functional things, so not a non-existing. Therefore, Minor school, the Prasanga school, they are very comfortable, with the 3 times as a functional things. So the other school, they says only the present is the functional things. The past and the future is unfunctional, non-functional, so not exist. So the Prasanga school, 3 times are the time, therefore is a functional things. It exists. So yeah, in Vibhashika school, 3 times, not only functional, they are substantial. So their best of their reason is, this is how the Buddha sees in the one time, the 3 times simultaneously. Within the present, Buddha can see 3 times. So that is their best reasons. If Buddha can see in the present 3 times must be substantial. So yeah. So this that's why I'm saying here that in this the dying consists of the 2 activities. It involves the disintegration. I think I'm not sure if this is really right. Karmic activities. I'm saying that involves the disintegration of the things, right? And it brings the forth, the cause, and ensure the interrupted continuity of ignorance. So which means the dying consists of the 2 activities. One brings the death, the second it brings the continuity of the ignorance.
Why is he saying that the dying brings forth the cause? The dying itself is a cause. Dying is a cause that brings the ignorance.
Dying is causing the death, and dying is also causing the continuity of the ignorance.
But to recapitulate, again, you said that this is a mistranslation.
Yeah.
It's not the disintegration of karma. It's more complicated.
So it's and in the commentary you can understand that meaning from the commentary. The sutra states dying performs 2 functions. It makes the death. It's not saying karma. It makes the death, cause an event. So makes the death and cause the event, maybe a funeral ceremony. So, and it perpetuates the ignorance. It continues the ignorance. Like my process of dying will bring my death and my next life ignorance. Right. So which means the death of me is the condition of things, which continues the ignorance of me.
One question here.
Okay.
It does continue ignorance in the sense that we continue to fabricate a self in our new, you can say our new form, so to speak. But to the extent we're in training, hopefully next life, the level of, we're able to carry forth whatever tiny realization we have, and maybe the door is slightly cracked open, and so it's not the same level of of intense ignorance as it was before the door cracked open, so to speak.
Yes, so already make it all. Yeah, I think, if you find the crack of single existence, you peek through that, yeah. So which means there's already enough light comes to you that reduces or the pacify most of the darkness of the ignorance. So the ignorance much thinner right? So if you make one whole, so then there is enough light that can pacify most of the ignorance. So it's just need one small, small hole, small crack. That should be enough to bring, much peaceful, much happier. So yeah. So where am I?
Can you say something here about falling back into a state of ignorance where the door is open, but somehow can it get shut later on by your inappropriate actions? And at what point does that door opening become you can't regress to closing the door, so to speak?
Now, this is a very good point, yeah. And here it says the, bodhicitta, you're generating compassion, the bodhicitta in this life. You may find some kind of obstacle to reduce and even give up the bodhicitta. It is possible. But realizations, emptiness, so never really apart from you. Once you generate the wisdom realizing emptiness, so it is always, no matter, what condition you are, this always unforgettable with lives and lives and lives until you get liberations. Wisdom stays with you all the time. Now, you may find some challenges because of the not enough practice of the generosity, not enough practice of the morality, not enough practicing, of the patience, things like that. You may face the consequence of that, but wisdom stays with you. So, the wisdom realizing emptiness is once you start, once you being able to light up that wisdom, and then you are always in that light. So there is because there is no antidote for the wisdom realizing emptiness. There's no obstacles.
Yes, yeah, I've read, and I mean, I could see how this is going to happen. Even with myself, I confess, when I see people in the streets yelling to kill or rape a certain ethnic group or whatnot, of course, and then I can feel the anger boil up in myself. I can feel the wanting to retaliate. I can feel. So I'm aware of my own rage, right? I'm aware of that. And I believe I've read that if you kill one person, then you kind of destroy your ability to be enlightened for countless lives. Although, on the other hand, I hear of these soldiers who killed many people who became Buddhists and their heart is opening. So the question is, how absolute is this thing I read that you kill one person and you're basically going to be in almost a hell state for an unbelievably long time?
Yeah, I think sometimes like you're people, I think here, what do you call it? Remain ignorant and trying to be positive, ignorance for a long, long, long time. Some people act very negative, very, very aggressive, and then they awake. Some people always be positive and all simple, humble, never awake. So, they they want to kind of what do you call plug it, tug like what do you call they want to be comfortable. They think it's a humble, peaceful, positive is good comfort, comfort, good to live, So they never awake. Some people do bad things, very aggressive, and then awake. Oh, now this is negative. They really got the kind of the essence of the purpose of the life they find. So I think that's the matter. King Ashoka, he killed so many people, and then he regret, and he thought, oh, now that I understand what is the purpose of the life. And Milarepa, he killed many of his relatives, village people. Then he awake, like a deer, turtle. Always like live very positive. No negative, no harmful, but they just live comfortable in that ignorance. They never awake. That's the point. So we need to awake. We need to understand what is the life for. What is the essence of life? So many people, their essence of life is just eating. Essence of life is finding shelters. Essence of life is to incite people. So, right? So they still don't understand. What is your mind desire for? You thought your mind.
May thinks the purpose of my life is eating.
If by eating makes you satisfied, and maybe there is some kind of essence in there, but just by eating, but you're still not comfortable what to eat in the evening. And evening you are having dinner. What to eat in morning? So this is not really happiness. It's a continuity, is it right? When the recycle people thinks that when they see the empty bottle, or they say, oh, I have to bring this to make money. So then make another bottle, so another bottle. Keep making bottles. So like, keep eating. Morning, in lunch, and dinner, and breakfast, lunch, dinner. That is the purpose of the life. And then you should decorate your restroom, So what do you call in the restroom when you sit.
Oh, the toilet?
A toilet thing, not a toilet.
The throne? Or?
Yeah. The toilet things has to be built, you have to make it like golden. Yeah. So that is the most, essence of your whole life is to eat and cook. So the toilet has to be made by gold. And on the tail pep, and then what's that? The side of that, you put jewels, diamonds.
As an American folk singer, Johnny Cash said, when I go to my humble outhouse and back, I imagine I'm a king on his throne.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, there's not much essence in there. I heard some, rich people have golden toilet, golden sink. And how about the toilet paper? Gold plate.
Gold food, golden cake.
So yeah, the dying perform two egg functions. It makes death and perpetuate ignorance. Disintegration is produce a cause. Disintegration thereby also has the capacity to produce effect. Although the disintegration referred to here is that of a continuum, the same is also true momentary disintegrations, where the first moment disintegrations at the time of the second moment. Oh, this I read it already. So momentarily changing, if you go a little more closer and closer, and everything is disintegrating. So the disintegrations are, not a function of things. The fundamental wisdom says the things and nothings are both conditioned. Non-things are conditioned phenomena. Things and non-things, things and their past are both equally conditioned things. Sunday is the present. Sunday is conditional thing. The past of the Sunday will be conditional thing. Things and non-things are both conditional phenomena. And the 60th stanza reasoning states pacifications, derived from extinction of the cause is understood to be exhaustions.
Why does it say non-things are functional?
So as non-things referring to the past, things and their past are equally conditional things. If the present is conditional things, their past is also conditional things. That is the continuity.
So pacification derived from extinction of causes understood to be exhaustion. This is something different from the things that perpetuates over time.
So pacifications, that's in say pacification derived from extinction of the cause.
This is
Now,
liberation.
extinction and past is two different things. Now, the birth that extinct due to the destruction of the karma and afflictions is the extinction of the cycle. So that is here the pacification, is the peace. So the extinction and the past, extinction and the disintegrations are big difference.
But this we don't consider as a condition.
No, this is not a conditional phenomenon. The pacifications derived from is the pacifications, is the peace pacification derived from extinction of the cause is understood to be here exhaustions.
So Lama Tsongkapha is making two different things.
Yeah, like when today is Sunday and the tomorrow morning Sunday will pass. So that is still conditional things. And, seed, the barley seed, which is extinct due to, having burned of the barley seed.
So that extinctions is two different things. Cycle that extinct due to the destruction of the karma and afflictions. So that is extinction. This extinction is called nirvana, the pacification, and this is called liberation. So in the Buddha, in some word it used, the term that used exhaustions. Now this.
Could you clarify further the distinction between liberation and nirvana?
Liberation and nirvana is same. Nirvahan means, the end of the life. End of the life. So life that driven by karma and afflictions now ended here. So that is nirvana. That is called English liberation, right? English liberation and nirvana. This is only attained by English people.
my understanding that is that Theravadan practitioners say people can be liberated, but they cannot achieve nirvana. Only the Buddha can achieve nirvana, and it seems they make the distinction that liberation is the end of affliction. You can do that, but you cannot achieve the omniscient state. That the Buddha, that seems to be in Theravada the distinction they make between liberation and nirvana.
I think that depends on your interpretations of the nirvana. So Buddha, when he passed away, this they call Mahaparinirvana, the great, perfect nirvana, the great Mahaparinirvana. So, and then when the Arhat, and passed away, they call nirvana of non-residue from the school, two school, Viveka school and Saudhanika school, the Pali traditions, most of the Pali school of thought, they consider nirvana is, non-residue liberations, non-residues when the Arhat pass away. So I think depending on how you interpret nirvana interpret that the end of the birth, rebirth. Then, yes, Arhat attain nirvana, Buddha also attain nirvana. So if you interpret the nirvana is, the great enlightenment. Sometimes you say enlightenment and the great enlightenment. Enlightenment you consider that is equal as a liberation. Once you liberate and you enlighten. In that, from that point, maybe let's say, and Buddha is the great enlightenment. Buddha is not just free from afflictive emotion. Buddha is also free from stain of the afflictive emotions. So great enlightenment. I think this is depending on what term that you use. So the both, Theravadan traditions or Sanskrit traditions, they both agree the Buddha attained much greater than the Arhat. Right? So Theravada also understood that. They accept the Buddha is not just liberated being. Right? So they think that within the years, there's one Bodhisattva. In Theravada tradition, this is only one Bodhisattva. There's no many Bodhisattvas. So Bodhisattva in this, this year is Shakyamuni. When he born, he was already a Bodhisattva. So there is no other Bodhisattvas.
Which tradition?
Theravadan tradition, Buddhism, minor Bodhisattvas, there are many Bodhisattvas. Theravada traditions, only one Bodhisattva, like Udambare flower. So only one time, 1 year, so one time. So that is Siddhartha, Shakyamuni. So then he got enlightened. That Bodhisattvas got enlightened is, the realization of that is much higher than the ordinary arhat. Yeah, that's the language, the term that every time they use it differently.
Can you differentiate the non-existing and the exhaustion and what is it? Distinct or extinct?
Extinction.
Extinction, yeah.
Extinctions, like a dinosaur extinct. There is no continuity of a dinosaur, right? There are no continuations, extinctions. So in this way, if you, through realization emptiness, if you successfully destroy the afflictive emotion and the karma, and as a result, and you attain the liberations, that is the extinction of birth in the second existence, right? So the extinction of the birth in the second existence is the liberation. That is exhaustion of the cycle in samsara. Right. So now disintegration means everything is disintegrating. It's not new. Every moment, every hour is disintegrating with minutes. A minute is disintegrating with seeds. But that's not going to stop the continue. It continuing. Each disintegration brings another one. That disintegration brings another one. So continue. So that is the pure nature of the impermanent things. So disintegration is not extinction. Disintegration is just pass of something that pass, right? So the pass and extinction is two different things. Something passes, not necessarily extinct. So, and the exhaustions, sometimes used exhaustion like Buddha has, exhaust all the qualities, the possibility of, any positive possibility qualities. So that means he contains all the good qualities. That's exhaust. Now there is no left any qualities that he hasn't gained yet. So it's complete exhaust. One exhaustion is, it is functioning, now is no more functioning. It stopped functioning, and that is exhaustions. Like butter lamp exhausts through exhaustions of the wick and the butter. So butter lamp died, exhaust, because of the exhaustion of the wick and oil. The one,
So the result is non-existent.
Result is not
exist.
Not exist.
Mm-hmm.
So the exhaustion has not really exhaustions of the rebirth this is the only called liberation and nirvana, right? Exhaustion of the cycle existing, exhaustion of the rebirth. So that is called pacifications. That pacification has the permanent state of peace, because that pacifications, brought by destruction of the afflictive emotion and karma. So here, many in the sutra, they term that many times they use exhaustions. They call exhaustion of the birth in the second existence is equal to extinction, of extinction of karma and afflictions. Right. So that's here. I think this is the 60 stanzas of the reasoning states the pacifications driven from extinction of cause is understood to be exhaustion. Extinction of cause of the birth in second existence is exhaustion, and it is the pacification, and it is equal with permanent state of peace. So the any karma, yeah. So I think maybe go back to the Larry questions, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, this is kind of like there's a exhaustion of the barley seed due to fire that burned the seed. Right? Exhaustion of the dinosaurs due to destructions of, I don't know what it may be, volcano or environment or something. They extinct that kind of, because they destroy the seed, destroy the continuities. Right. So thus, in the above, things such as sprout as well as their non-existence are both described as a conditioned phenomena. Their non-existence sprout as well as their non-existing. I think this translator is a little bit
non-sprout or non.
Disintegrations. He's supposed to say sprout as well as their disintegrations are both described as a conditioned phenomena. So non-existent, it says. Sometimes the translators, do things. Maybe he hasn't got his afternoon chai. So when someone not bringing any chai, then you got a little bit upset. The disintegration, non-existing is the same for
Non-existent chai.
yeah. Sprout as well as their disintegrations are both described as conditioned phenomena. And the extinction of cause, like exhaustion of oil in a lamp, is said to be a cause for the extinction of the effect, such as the lamp flame. We must therefore accept this without doubt to be intention of the noble Nagarjuna. So, sprout and their paths or their disintegration are equally conditioned things, and exhaustion of the body limb due to, exhaustion of the wick and oil. So, public number don't miss a double house. Do we do some bears? Public shepherds. So this is Noble Nagarjuna's Prasangika school point of view. I heard recently in some Indian masters, they pronounce Nagarjuna as a different name. Naga Arjuna, said they said. Naga Arjuna. Sound that maybe more right. Nagarjuna or Naga Arjuna. Maybe his name is Arjuna because we know he has relation with Naga, so people named Naga Arjuna. So yeah, so we got used to pronounce Nagarjuna. So Noble Nagarjuna. Now, since the disintegration of the first moment at the time of second moment is something that must be cognized by means of explicit elimination of its object of negation. Disintegration of morning 11 o'clock means there is explicitly negating the existing identity of the 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock pass, or the pass of the 9 o'clock, explicitly negating 9 o'clock is there, right? So, elimination of object negations, it is a form of notion, because a negation is form of negation, and furthermore, since it is not a implicative negations, not a non-affirmative negation, not a non-affirmative negation. So non-implicative negations, it is implicative negations, affirmative negations. This is because it has not simply eliminate a thing that has become disintegrated. It's not just simply saying, just merely saying 9 o'clock does not exist. So 9 o'clock pass and 9 o'clock not exist has a different meaning, right? The birth has, extinct, and birth, that birth has ceased. When we die, this birth of this life is ceased. So it's a different thing. Implicative negation, this is because not simply eliminate things that has become the disintegrate, it has died, disintegrated. It also implies in the course of its negations some other conditioned thing. As for more detail on the remaining parts of the reasoning proving disintegration to be conditioned thing, you could learn these from my commentary on the fundamental wisdom. So Lama Tsongkapha wanted to sell you his commentary. So, you should learn these from my commentary on the fundamental wisdoms. These reasoning on the disintegrations represent a form of reasoning that is most subtle and important feature of Chandrakirti's tradition. So the Chandrakirti traditions, the Prasangika school. Yeah.
It's affirming affirmative negation. So you're negating 9 o'clock task. But what we are affirming is 9 o'clock is conditioned.
No, it's affirming 9 o'clock has died because of living. You know, when we say someone died, we ask what caused, right? Which means it just normal died or it died because of the illness, right? So there must be some condition for the death. Death is brought by the cause. So that is the affirmative. So here they say, you know, a dinosaur is past or it ceased to exist. And then, you know, the buffalo has died. Two different things. Dinosaur is ceased to exist. Buffalo died. So the death of the buffalo is not talking about extinction. So dinosaur cease is talking about extinction. So then the death of the buffalo is caused by his
Old age.
his old ages or his illness, or he's killed by what do you call it? Butchers, right? So it's suggesting it is conditioned. The death is brought by the cause. So it's also negating now it's no longer that identity which was alive is no longer there. So it's negate in affirming a cause, right? So that's why in the Prasangika school they say it is affirmative negation.
Even though we are not completely sure what the cause is.
Yeah. So this is like the men, the fat monk do not eat in the daytime. He is fat. He is not eating in the daytime. Negation and eating in daytime is negated, but it's suggesting he must be eating in nighttime. When someone death means it's suggesting it has caused. Right? Something disintegrate is also still suggesting it has caused. So essential school, death means things that is now no longer existing. Right? 9 o'clock past means still is 9 o'clock is not existing. There's no further suggestion. So for them, it's non-affirmative negation. For the Prasangika school, affirmative negation. So who has the good ear? So Siddhantika school, when they heard, 9 o'clock has passed, means 9 o'clock no longer exists for them. They heard it. The Prasangika school, when the 9 o'clock is ceased, means it caused by its time, its minutes. Minutes has ended. So affirmative negation and non-affirmative negation. So Chandrakirti's traditions is disintegrations, past, are affirmative negation. Okay, if I'll stop here. Yeah. Chanju simcho rinpoche, ma yeba na gejeje, geba nyamba, meba nya, kone kondo pebrche, tonye dawa rinpoche, ma yeba na gejeje, geba nyamba, meba nya, kone kondo pebrche, pama simchen tamche, dedan denjuji, ngendo tamche tat,
동안다 창조 선바 강나 수주 대다 군제 모놈 조주르지 가레자베 고베신 편단대 원만론 중에 제레선과 텐센자도 샤베 세데바도 된주르지
To make the precious body mind not yet on rise and grow. May the bone have no decline but increase forevermore. May the precious mind realizing emptiness not yet on rise and grow. May the bone have no decline but increase forevermore. Due to all these merits, may all Father and Mother sentient beings have all happiness. And may all lower realms be empty forever. Wherever there are Bodhisattvas, may all their prayers be accomplished immediately. In the sacred land surrounded by snow mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness, all powerful transit and Gyatso. Remain in this world until samsara ends.
Thank you.